Good evening. Welcome to the Sensible Sociopath Podcast. My name is Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Nice. Like some David Blaine shit over here.
To my right, we have our illustrious FBI producer,
Special agent.
Special Agent Romerica Starling.
I'll take it.
It works. It really does.
Thanks, y'all.
Clarice, do you know why they call him Superfan Dan?
Why is that, Dr. Lecter?
He skins his humps. So, sorry, that was your line. Because he skins his humps. Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Superfan Dan, you're looking lovely this evening.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Lecter.
Gotta love it. We are happy Halloweening with you tonight.
Woo!
And this is our Silence of the Lambs episode. It's excellent.
Yeah. I don't know if the whole episode of Silence of the Lambs,
The
this
whole
is
thing.
what we went for. Oh, the whole thing?
Entire
Oh,
thing.
okay. I didn't prepare
Roma,
then.
everything you brought has to be silent. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's probably my favorite horror movie, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it rank as a horror movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It definitely, psychological thriller, all of that. But yeah, I do think it's one of the, one of the great horror movies of all time.
Kat says, love it. Chef's kisses. And she says, Dan looks so pleased with himself.
Dan looks good. Dan looks good as
I wanna pull up some pictures so that we can show how much we dedicated ourselves to this.
Yeah.
So for instance here, here's Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm. And I even have my this was I made myself a little baton or out of some pipes.
Do you have your mask?
Oh yeah. And I decided not to go with it just because of the blood I didn't really think about that, but
Nice.
got my mask, got my handcuffs. Obviously, you see I've got my paper clip that I spit out of my mouth after I can't remember if it was a paper clip or a staple or something.
It was
I think it was bobby pin.
it was a tiny little pin.
Yeah.
I want to draw attention to how much I fucking nailed this.
Yeah.
So
Roma looks exactly like it. I mean, so everyone look at the shirt, look at the necklace.
So I've got the scooped neckline white shirt. I've got the gold necklace here. And the colors on this are almost exact. It's just a slightly different pattern. So mine's more of a plaid and hers is kind of a houndstooth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about this.
Roma, do you know what you look like with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube.
I almost brought my Coach clutch
Exactly.
and all my shoes are cheap.
It's
So,
Skechers,
well,
yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. I do have some expensive boots.
Are those
but
memory foam?
I bought them on Amazon. They're inserts.
Yes. That's awesome.
Okay, and now, Dan.
Good nutrition's given her length of bone. But you can't be more than 2 generations away from poor West Virginia trash.
Let's see here.
Oh, there's my club.
Yeah, I showed a picture of your club.
Oh, yes.
Here's us.
Yes.
All right, Dan, let's see.
Hurry! He's crazy, but he can. But he can't do that fast. Talking about Miggs. What did Miggs say to you? He hissed at you.
I have so many decorations on my... So...
Yeah, Jane Gum.
And then...
I mean, I tried with
Oh, yeah.
the tattoos.
I think
No,
you
I
got to
think
stand up a little to show the tattoo.
He's got Precious.
Mm-hmm.
Show him your basket, Dan.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket. Don't worry, we got it.
Excellent. Yes, I think we all nailed it.
Yeah. Kat says, really nailed it! ! So
Oh, yes.
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll do a little fanfic. Oh, hi, I sell cars. I'm Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the first thing is, of course, first, chat with us, subscribe to the channel, and thumbs up, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff, please.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes. And then I just wanted to say that I think Roma, will you look this up? But you don't have to show it. But I believe that Silence of the Lambs is one of the only movies to ever win to sweep the Oscars.
Oh yeah, it won.
I think that was in 1991.
It really did win like almost all of them.
Yeah, I think it was. Best Picture, Best Director, Best all that stuff. But there was two other movies that were.
So it looks like Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Film Editing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's was that
7.
4, 7. I wanted to say, so I rewatched it because I hadn't seen it in years. I've seen it multiple times, but I haven't seen it in years, and I just want to get a feel for it again. And it would be so cool if they redid it and remastered the soundtrack, possibly update a little bit. Because when you watch it, the soundtrack, of course, has that very late 80s, early 90s soundtrack feel to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it dates it, but the story's good, the acting's great. So I feel like if they updated the soundtrack, it would just breathe new life into it.
Yeah, and
not that it's a bad soundtrack, but it's just it has that very dated. So I was talking to my boyfriend and I said, we were on Netflix and we were scrolling. You know how when you scroll on a Netflix and it pops up, like when you click onto a video, it automatically starts playing the preview.
Yes.
And so it plays a preview, and I'm looking at like spooky stuff because it's Halloween, and I'm into that anyways. And it when you listen to a 90s trailer, you're like, this is a 90s trailer. When you listen to a trailer now, especially for something spooky, it's that like single piano keynote, ding, ding. And I'm like, this is going to be so 2020 preview trailer. Like you're gonna hear that and you're like, oh, 2020.
Either that or they throw in the deep bass where it's just
yeah. But it was just so funny. I'm just like, they do this for everything now.
Yeah, it's I definitely think it's definitely a dated movie for sure, but I think just one of the best.
It's great.
Yeah, it's so good. So
I enjoyed rewatching it.
Yeah.
Maltese says, wow, so great, you guys.
Yeah.
Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
We were just showing
the pictures
comparisons of them. We really went all out.
Yeah, absolutely. So last week,
are you gonna tell your story?
I was we were talking, just about, I guess, how Halloween was coming up.
Yeah.
And there was an incident.
Was it a spooky incident?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I guess let me tell the story. And actually, we have a couple of articles wherever mine start. I think maybe that like 6th one in. So I'm sure every state has their most haunted places.
Is this it?
Nope. Maybe. Yeah, that's then the one before it. Yep.
This one? You want to start on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are, everybody has their haunted places, and it just so happens that that we were in one of, or actually, I think it's Idaho's most haunted place according to this.
Okay.
So if you scroll down, there should be something, some cemetery in Caldwell.
Okay. Let's see here.
I can't remember what, Pioneer maybe? Oh,
No, it wouldn't be Pioneer.
Canyon Hill Cemetery.
Okay. I've actually never been there.
Yes. So, we were, and give it a little read. There's like a little synopsis on there.
When it comes to local ghost stories, there's always one or two that really stick in your mind thanks to some of the unique details. In Idaho, one such story is that of a legless jogger who haunts Canyon Hill Cemetery. Apparently, if you're brave enough to drive up to the gates of the cemetery and park your car there around midnight, the apparition of a jogger with no legs floats up to the driver's side window and taps on the glass.
That's amazing.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened.
Nuh-uh.
That's the end of the story. No. So, I've been through this, and there was another article, I just wanted something else saying that this place was haunted.
Oh, is it the next one?
I think so. Yeah. And yeah, so, just it's out there. This is,
Ghosts of Canyon Hill Cemetery.
This is what people are, reporting. And I didn't know any of this. I did actually, Mal did mention this. So we were taking a walk.
Oh, Midnight Jogger. Do you want me to read it real quick?
Yeah.
The Midnight Jogger is a ghost story that is told to haunt Canyon Hill Cemetery. Apparently, she appears when you park between the trees that are overlooking the cemetery just ahead. Maybe she appears as you drive past her, but are gone as soon as you turn to have another look. Some reports that she doesn't have any legs to carry her and just floats above the ground. Some even go so far as to claim she comes over to knock on the window of the car.
Mm-hmm. And so we've been through this cemetery, several times. It's just a decent walk to go through. It's pretty large. It's got its like paths all through it and everything, and so you can kind of just get lost in there. And so we were walking, and we brought Mal's dog, and his name's Ollie, and he
not Precious.
No, not Precious. So he was walking, and have you ever seen blood in the pale moonlight? It appears quite black. Sorry, I had to throw that in. So we went to, so the dog's just running everywhere because he's kind of like a border collie mix. So they're just all over the place. And
yeah, you definitely have to run those.
And so we're just walking through, and it's dark enough that I don't see where the dog is once it kind of gets out of like a little bit out of range. But sort of where he is just because of the motion and all that. So we're walking, and I wasn't creeped out. There was nothing going on.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, we're just kind of walking through. We're kind of far into the cemetery. There's this like little cliff thing that there is, and we're sort of near that. And I know Ollie's up right here, like up right in kind of off to my right, just off the walking path. And I see movement and see this rush, go. And then I see Ollie, and I was like, wait a minute, and he was coming at us at that time. And so I'm standing there, and I'm just like, and we were walking, and so I'm just like, I don't know if what Mal could tell, but I kind of looked at her.
Is she a real barking kind of dog?
No. Loves chicken bones. So Mal says to me, "Did you just see a ghost?" And I'm like,
shit.
And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, what was that? And I was like, well, something whooshed by, and it whooshed by, and I'm thinking
so
back.
So how tall was this whoosh?
So it was probably somewhere between like waist high and like chest high.
Okay, so it wasn't the size of a dog.
No. and it went by and it made a noise as it went by, like a
Ooh.
like a whoosh or
So
something.
you literally heard it
I mean,
I take it there was no wind that evening.
nothing.
to speak of.
Yeah, nothing I would say would be attributed at all.
Yeah, and here we either have wind or we don't.
Mhm.
You might have a slight breeze, but in general, like
Yeah.
it's either windy or it's
Mhm.
still.
Yeah,
and
but
definitely Caldwell's like that too, and it wasn't.
even though we might have a slight wind, it's nothing that's really like truly.
It's not making
whooshy.
whooshing. Yeah.
Yeah, and and that was it too. And when I, when I think back on it, I couldn't tell if it did make a noise or maybe it just went so fast that my brain.
Did she
attached the
hear a
noise.
noise?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So she saw it. She said it looked like it went through me.
Oh, fuck.
That's what she said, and I
Yikes.
was like, no, it was off to the side, like it. I
From
don't know
her
what it was.
vantage point,
Mhm.
it looked like it went through you.
And she was right next to me.
What color was this?
It was like a grayish white, like just
like
kind
a
of a flash.
mist or a flat, like a light.
It had it. It was just kind of an overall shape, and it looked like it had like I don't know, ridges or something on it. Like it was moving.
It a human shape, or did it have a tail to it? Was it like a trail, like a?
Yeah. It did have like a. It was almost like an amorphous, like a. If you think about like,
It was
ooze or something. If it's like
okay.
like,
Margot says weird. Also, Margot and Steve say that we look awesome.
Yeah.
Hello to Margot and Steve. Who else is with us tonight?
Mal T and Kat are saying hi right now.
Hello and happy Halloween to everyone.
Woo! Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
A
And
little
it's
carried
good.
away. Anyways.
Yeah, and so I feel like it was a like if I had to draw it, I would probably I would say it was like a phantom. You
Okay.
know, like that was really sort of what it was. Like it had some shape to it.
Did it
but
go
not
to the ground, or was it like?
So it went by me, and I turned and
Just
didn't
midriff.
see anything.
Midriff the whole way.
So it
huh?
came towards you.
And came by me, and it looked and so when Ollie popped
When
up,
it came by you, though, it was coming towards you as opposed to going past
correct.
you.
Yep. So
And-
it came to my right, and then when I turned, it was gone.
So it was enough to make you turn.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Did you just see a ghost?"
Yes.
And then did she see the same thing that you saw?
Yes. Yeah.
She
so she
described
didn't
the
know what it was.
same.
She saw it less than I did.
Right.
Because it was just this thing, I mean, you're not looking around looking for it.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
that's-
So Mal
Mal's
says
reporting live.
reporting,
Live from Maltese Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
out of my peripheral vision, I thought it was headlights flashing against trees, but when I turned my head, there were no trees. So it had to have been its own form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the place that we were at was deep enough in that like there were no streets to like turn.
You wouldn't have gotten headlights or
I
anything.
take it there were no like overhead lamps
No.
either.
So did you get any
Fucking
type?
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any type of feeling from? So you guys had flashlights, correct?
No.
No. So you're just
Oh,
walking in the
proud
dark.
of
Completely
you.
in the black. Yeah.
Okay.
I am so proud
And
of
you
you.
saw it, and
Mhm.
when it was dark, so it was lighter than the dark.
Yes.
And so,
And there is some bleeding of light through, like
Sure, I
there's a
mean-
few lights, but not hardly any at all. And I
Right.
don't know if there was any moon that night.
and so you guys, so you see this, she sees this. Very bizarre.
Yeah.
And so did you get any type of feeling from it? Did you
Mm-hmm.
get chills? Did you get like,
I felt I really just had kind of confusion.
yeah,
Because, like I wasn't scared or any, like, I mean, I guess if it would have been like, or
Yeah,
something, I would
sure.
have been like, oh, that's terrifying,
Right.
Did
Right.
you feel cold?
Not really. I think I had a good jacket on though.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Generally, you definitely feel cold.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I didn't, look, I am not the type of guy that I want.
You literally have never told me a ghost story ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, it's like I believe, I would love to know, whatever.
Was
Yeah.
there air movement with it?
I feel like there was, but I can't
Say for sure.
Yeah, I can't say for sure because
Wow, that is crazy.
it was so much. And then of course, there
Mar-
have.
Margot says, so was this a date? Who planned it?
Yeah, I guess it was sort of like a date,
Whose idea was it?
Mal likes to go walk around to the cemetery. Like if she's gonna go walking, she'll pick the cemetery or something over streets.
So I'm the same way.
Mhm.
My boyfriend, we were watching something, and I think we were watching Unsolved Mysteries, and somebody was saying like their boyfriend had died, had been murdered or something like that. Something happened, and anyways, they're lowering the casket, and he's just like sobbing as he's watching the casket lower. So I like, oh, would you stand over my casket and sob? He goes, no, because you'd be cremated. And I was like, but I want like a skull and bones that people can, dig up in 100 years. And I'm like, I want to be spooky in death. And he's like, you're already spooky. And I'm like, but this is my time to shine.
Yeah. I've been waiting my whole life for this.
So I told him if he did
This
cremate
is
me,
Romerica Rifkin's grave.
I told him if he did cremate me, he had to keep the ashes in the house.
Yeah.
They have to be in the house.
Solid, yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to put them on top of one of those cordless phone chargers. Just to give it a little extra power, just in case you need it.
That's amazing. If I ever get somebody's ashes, I'm doing that.
Yeah, totally.
You also need Romerica, do you have an enjoyment of music boxes?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Those are creepy.
Because
Yeah.
if you do have an enjoyment for music boxes, you've got to have one like in the same room, if not like right next to where your ashes are kept.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, I had this music box, but it wasn't a box. It was a mini pillow, and it had like a lamb stitched on it, and like with like ruffles around the edges. It had a lamb stitched on it with like a rainbow or something, and you would turn it, and it would play the song. And I used to listen to that sometimes, not all the time, and cry. I mean, just sob. Like it was so haunting and like creepy and sad.
Mm-hmm.
It would just make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
I did have so you had a porcelain doll collection, miniature. It wasn't like crazy, but I probably had, I don't know, 15 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a clown. So the first one I ever got was a clown. And for some reason I got it at ShopRite or Starnes. I don't know which one it was at the time.
Starnes ShopRite.
Yeah. It had blue hair. I was obsessed with it. And then it
eventually.
became a thing. And so anyways, I ended up getting one that was one of those like Harlequin clowns, but it was miniature. It was small, and it was on this padded heart pillow, and it was a music box, and you would wind it up, and it would spin around, and it's
terrify people.
The stuff that I had looking back on, I'm like, I would never have that in my house now.
Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah.
But once you're dead.
But I cannot wait to be dead and creepy. Like I want to be creepy. Like honestly, ultimately, if I could be walled up in a like old library wall, like brick wall, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Oh,
people need to know about it too, because I want like stories.
Roma, that's where the homeless go to masturbate.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
But I want to be
Roma just
I want to be the creepiest masturbation. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like Ghostbusters at all, except for the ooze.
What are you doing?
All right, let's see.
Except for the slime.
So,
what are some of the other ones?
Hold on.
Idaho?
I've got some comments real quick though.
Yeah,
please do.
So was the date? Who planned it? Mal did. We were walking at a very brisk pace. We walk at the cemetery all the time. Kat says, I love that, Mal. Great choice. LOL. Mal says, I've walked there almost daily for years and never felt anything spooky there before. This experience was the first one, and I felt giddy and giggly excited, not scary at all. And Cass is so jealous.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because then, as we're, because we'll walk there all the time. And there is a thriving glory hole scene. I'm just kidding. No, but we were walking by like the mausoleums.
I was going to say in the mausoleums?
Yeah,
like, okay.
Exactly. It's about a foot of concrete. So they kind of just
bored through and only certain people.
I was going to say, you got to be really endowed.
Yeah. They just take like a pine cone on a stick.
Oh, Jesus.
What? It's nice.
That's some dedication.
Yeah. Then you're scrubbing tar off later and just having a great old time.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, we were walking by these mausoleums, and she's getting all sketched out, and it might have been the same night, and I'm like,
And she's
what?
not usually like that.
No, yeah, and I was like, what? And she, just like wasn't saying what was going. I'm like, tell me what the fuck is going on, and she's just like, well, if there was gonna be people here, they would have probably been there with the mausoleums. And I'm like, okay, I have a gun on me. I'm a man. I don't get scared. Like just tell me when you think something's going down,
sketchy,
so that I know what the fuck is going down.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
it's interesting how you can be in it. So my boyfriend and I, early October, we went on a professional ghost hunt. And we went with a professional group, and tickets. I bought tickets or whatever, and creepy place. Did not feel creeped out. I never at any point felt sketched out. But it's interesting when you are in those situations that all of a sudden you feel fucking creepy, and it's like normally, I mean, you can creep yourself out for sure. But like I'm a type of person that will, so like on my way home from work, I used to walk through a cemetery at night because it was a shortcut, and it's a cemetery. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
And never once, outside of me overthinking things and being like, ooh, somebody could be behind that fucking tombstone. Never once have I ever felt creeped out. And then sometimes you're just in life, day-to-day life, and you're just like, you're like, ooh, like, this feels off, Yeah. So it's interesting how. It's just interesting. So she's like having these creeped out feelings. Why?
Well, and so I'm chronically an insomniac. I probably average about. I think I went from about 5 hours a night to probably an average of about 4 hours a night now. So it's gotten worse. And I see things out of the corner of my eye a lot. Like. You know when you're really tired and
whether you're really tired or not,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. If you see things out of the corner of your eye, you will always see things out of the corner of your eye, no matter how much sleep you get
or crack you smoke.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we weren't trying to go
it was moderate
substances, to be honest with you, but
it was a moderate amount. Okay?
It was only one foily.
Yeah.
Oh, one foily won't do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know the little vacuum cleaners you make out of it?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 foilies, and then you see the ninjas on the lawn.
Fold up a foilie. So, I don't know, and I don't really want to say out loud exactly what I'm thinking.
That's really interesting, though.
Yeah,
and that's a fantastic.
But
part
you're
of it,
suspicious about it, and she's suspicious about it.
Well, yeah. No, I just mean like after this fact, I've been seeing things.
Oh.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Well,
so since that has happened, you've been seeing things. So what have you been seeing?
Just,
in your place in the studio.
Yeah. Just wherever I am, I'm just exhausted. And
does it happen at work too?
But you don't.
I think.
But you don't usually.
Like beforehand, you didn't, right?
I never associated it with anything, like,
Hold
and
on.
I can't tell you.
Back it up. Beep, 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 beep. So you're in a cemetery. You see a Morpheus thing. Your girlfriend sees something else as well. The same thing. She calls it out as you. She thinks it goes through you. Now you're seeing things in the places that you are on a regular basis.
Could be.
Anything moved?
I think my penis did once.
Well,
that's
can't trust that.
That's just a part of life, Steve.
And I was like, if you're a succubus, go for it, or whatever.
Just please do the sucking part.
So what is this? What are you just seeing, like shadows? What
kind of just where. And maybe I'm probably looking for it. I'm probably, more.
Which is so crazy to me because you're not that person.
But I think now that you think that you have, at least you think that you have seen something, you're hyper aware.
Yeah.
And even when you're tired and you're not even really thinking about it, part of you is thinking about it.
To be fair.
Well, and I was just horny when the succubus came around.
Oh yeah,
so
I mean, everything's moving.
My brain wasn't there,
So to be fair, where you live now, I used to live as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a closet door that would open itself. Now, the latch is not lined up properly, so I debunked it.
Yeah.
The latch isn't lined up properly. It's it seemed to happen primarily during the winter time, and so
Winter ghosts.
well, I think when the heat would kick on, it would create some kind of suction and pop the door open.
Mm-hmm. With a ghost.
Yeah.
But more recently, the door was open.
Like every time?
Not every time, but
most of the time.
Most recently, the door has popped open and the heat hasn't been run yet.
Well, and I remove my doors.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Never had a ghost.
Never had a ghost. There you go.
Suck it, dum-dums.
That's fair.
So Kat says your mind is open now, but you notice more and more stuff. Well, I love that story.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic experience.
I actually paid $80 to go on a ghost hunt and saw nothing.
Yeah. Well,
although I got a jump scare.
Okay.
So we're in we're at an old train depot that is no longer a train depot, but now a museum.
Now it's a Home Depot.
It's a museum. It's a train museum.
Okay.
And there's a couple different places. One of them is a barn / shed, and they've just got storage in there. And so we go in there first, and we're in there, and there's because of the way the things are stored, there's kind of like a middle. I don't even know if there's a wall there. There may not be a wall there, but they have things lined on either side. So they've got things lined. So if you go, it's kind of like a donut. So there's things lined in the middle. There's things lined on either side.
Sprinkles.
And extra sprinkles. Mm-hmm. So anyway, everybody's kind of on the right-hand side of if you walk in the door, they're on the right. And I was like, I'm kind of not big on crowds. I'm like, I'll do it, but if I don't have to, I won't. So I go on the opposite side. It's on the left-hand side. So I'm sitting there, and they're getting some weird EMF readings and K2 meter readings. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, I'll go check this out.
What's a K2 meter?
K2 meter it's an EMF detector, but
which is an electromagnetic field.
Correct. Yeah. But it's a specific type, and it's just it has a light meter. I'm not sure exactly why it's called K2.
It's got blinky lights, and when the blinky lights turn on, something's happening.
As opposed to say a number thing. So they have a K2 meter, and it's being weird. Now, granted, there is Wi-Fi in there. There's reason that could be going off, but anyways, they're just this seems weird. So I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. And and I don't know these people. I don't want to hang out with them. Mm-hmm. So as I'm getting up to watch, and it's dark, we have one door open to the outside because it helps with the Wi-Fi. And because I was like, are we going to leave this open? They're like, yeah, because if you close it, then the Wi-Fi is really spotty. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's removed from the main building, you know? Yeah. So anyway, so I'm sitting there. So it's slightly lit up. So I'm getting up to walk around the donut, and there's away from where the light is coming through the door. And all of a sudden, something starts to gets up and starts to scurry across the floor. And I literally, this is with strangers, I literally scream. Mm-hmm. And then and it's dark, so my eyes aren't adjusted. And then I realize it's the photographer. He'd been sitting in the corner. And as I got up, he got up to get out of my way, but he kind of got on his hands and knees first because he was sitting on the floor. So, and then he starts to kind of scurry as he's standing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my fuck, why would you do that? Yeah. And my heart is racing. Perfect. Yeah. It was amazing because I got that adrenaline rush that I wanted. But I was just like, you psychopath. What is wrong? And he's younger, and he seemed a little weird, just like a weird dude.
A guy, instead of going out on dates,
is ghost
night.
hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with a camera. Yeah. Anyways, but so but that was the extent of my experiences. But and we were sitting in some really creepy places, down in a basement, in this offshoot weird room. There's coal, and it was just weird. And I was just like, it feels empty. I don't feel anything here.
Yeah.
Now, I have had multiple different experiences at different points in my life. The one that I will share with you guys tonight is
Dan,
yeah.
you look like a guy who's had some experiences.
Well,
Roma. He's wearing a kimono. Mm-hmm.
I was telling Dan earlier that he makes a cute girl, not a hot girl, but he actually shockingly, and especially with the right like contouring.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'd have a 3-way. Mal?
He's almost got dimples. Almost.
Well, I used to actually be called by my Nana Sharon Dimples once upon a time. It was when I smiled more.
It's on his butt though.
That is also true. No, Roma, you cannot confirm that. However,
Steve can.
Well, I wasn't going to say. Hold on. I've got to prepare her for what's happening.
Okay.
So,
I've sort of heard these stories.
It's only because you told me that I need to shut up and tell it on the podcast.
Yes.
That's exactly what has happened. I actually have multiple stories, really. And that's because, okay, put the stick down. Put the stick down.
But I built it.
I know you built it, but I don't need to be beaten. I know I was trying to get
and
him
holy
to put
shit,
the
I'm
stick
not
down.
drinking all of this.
I understand that. I didn't really realize exactly what was happening, so I was distracted.
Okay,
There was a stick in front of me.
these stories you're going to tell me, I've got to say that I'm most fascinated by.
Is it the Hound?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to share. So, young Dan, living at my mom's house, and have a couple of dogs. Have a dachshund and a border collie black lab mix. And we had several trees in my backyard. They were corkscrew willows. We had 3 of them. And part of my job was one of the black lab border collie was my dog. His name was Max. And we had a little black and tan long-haired dachshund named Baron von Black. He was
sounds racist.
Or, totally. I blame my father. So I'm taking the dogs out to go potty, of course. And
so what time of year is this?
It's in the fall.
Okay.
Of course. Things are dying down, and it's getting quiet outside, and you can definitely feel like everything outside is going to sleep. The plants are all going into hibernation for the year. And I had already had an experience in my house beforehand, and I've had a lot of crazy shit happen in my life at this point. So I've shared some of it with the show before, but I still have more to share, surprisingly enough. And something else that's fucking happened this year, a couple of weeks ago, that fucking sucks, but it's realistic. And once again, I have yet another fucking situation in which I shook hands with death once again.
Love it.
A couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was last week, but still.
We'll tell that next week.
I'm not telling it now.
Okay.
I'm just saying that they just keep piling on. So I'm in the backyard and I'm taking the dogs out potty, and I'm sitting outside, and it's not really windy outside, and it's definitely fall. I've let the dogs inside, but for some reason I felt like staying outside because I love being outside in the fall. There's just something
it's brisk.
It's amazing. There's just the silence of it all.
It is very, very quiet.
When you don't have the wind rustling in the leaves, and when you have a corkscrew willow in your backyard, there's a lot of twisted limbs just all over the place. But I'm in, like I said, I'm in the backyard, and the dogs are of course doing their thing, and then I let them inside, and I just feel like being outside. And I look towards where my parents are, which is the far end of the off to my left, and I see a pair of red eyes,
Oh,
and
shit.
it's just amongst the dark, and I'm just a young boy, not really thinking about much, and I just see a pair of red eyes, and then this animalistic figure starts walking towards the tree line, and I'm frozen.
How far away?
About I'd say about 5 yards. Um, and it's staring at me, and like I said, I don't hear anything, but I can see it. It's a dark, shapely figure. It looks animalistic and more like a dog. And I'm looking around for my dog Max, and I'm not. He wasn't big. He was about thigh, just above my thigh, knee high, and I'm 6'2", so he wasn't very tall. Um,
Can I ask you a
and
question?
yeah, please.
Did it look like the eyes were emanating red or that they were reflecting red?
Yeah.
No, they were very much emanating red. Like
self-illuminated.
it was very, very red. And it started to walk closer to me, and which weirded me out because there were leaves on the ground. I hadn't picked them up because you got to pick up the dog shit first before you can clean up the leaves. Because if you mix the dog shit with the leaves, then there's a problem.
When the kids jump
Thanks,
in it.
Dad. Yeah, and then you come out smelling, and nobody wants to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was my job to clean up the leaves, but regardless, so this figure starts walking towards me, and I don't move. I stay still.
Except your bowels.
No, even then, I had more control over those.
Okay. Than now.
Yeah.
Well, 37,
Clearly.
Come on. It's a little dodgy. It starts to get dodgy.
Yeah.
You do what you can, but,
Let's just say you wear a kimono to most events.
absolutely. I mean, I had my own at the time.
Yeah.
But it starts walking towards me, and then to my left, somebody flips on the light, and they open up the sliding glass door, and they look at me, and they're like, "What are you doing?
You've been punked."
And the dog runs outside, and he just kind of starts like half jumping at me because he was a little chubby.
Wait, which dog?
Max, my dog Max.
Oh, the one you were looking for?
Yes.
Weren't you outside with him?
Yeah, I thought I was. But he was inside. I had let him inside, and then this started happening, and I completely forgot that I had let him inside. And then he's let outside, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I look over to the left, the fucking eyes are gone.
So the dachshund was still outside with you?
No,
Nothing was.
He was inside too. And the dachshund, of course, dachshunds are fucking shit kickers. So they're little fucking footballs. So he was no more than maybe a foot off the ground. Like his eyeballs were a foot off the ground.
Probably not even that much.
And these were, they were about as lit up, a little bit dimmer than your lights on that board over there. The little red board that you have sitting on your desk, where it's the one is lit up behind your phone.
So, let's see. First of all,
it was dimmer than that. But
Cat says skinwalker.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility. I've definitely run into plenty of odd and cryptic shit in my entire life, but this was definitely one that I always remembered, and I was for sure creeped out for a long time by the aspect of wolves, mostly because of the Nothing, the agent of the Nothing from
Never Ending Story.
The Never Ending Story, yes.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
The talking wolf just freaked me the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in life, I realized the reason why it creeped me out is because I connect with wolves.
Well, yeah. Also, you had this experience. So did it seem like wolf-like?
Yes, that was the thing. Is it seemed like the head was dipped, so it was about the same height as my dog, but it was hulking in a way. And
how old were you?
I was about 12.
Okay.
And was there sound?
No, and that's part of it that makes it even worse is that there was no sound. Like I didn't hear it crunching through the leaves, and the leaves were very dry. back
Except the dog shit.
In 97. Yes, except for the dog shit.
There were
97.
certain leaves that were fine. So what is this layout of the property that you're on? Because you mentioned something about a tree line, and you said it was by the tree line, and I said, how far away was it? And you said 5 yards. And I'm like,
So I think
Well,
I've been
five
pretty
yards
close,
5
you know?
yards from where I was standing, and even 5 yards away from me is still 25 feet.
hmm.
And I'm off the patio, and it's about 20 yards, or maybe even 10.
So when
10
I met you, this is the same house we're talking about, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So it's a bigger, so it's like a suburban neighborhood. It's a bigger backyard though, and it does have a willow tree in it. So I don't know. Did you have a line of trees? I don't remember that. I do remember the willow because I was like, oh, so
it
cool.
was
Like
it was three, and tree line is just what came to
he's
me
just
at the time.
descriptor.
Yes.
Do you guys have fences?
Yes, I
There
did.
are
I
fences,
did
yeah.
have a fence. It
Are
was
they-
about.
They're like 6-foot fences, like your typical
Oh,
like
okay.
neighborhood fence.
All right.
It's not a big piece of property, but
Mhm.
it's a decent sized backyard for sure.
It's actually one of the bigger backyards.
Yeah,
that-
it's a decent sized It's not like he's got like an acre, but like it's a bigger backyard.
Bigger than
But
Kanye
also-
West's backyard?
That makes it
no.
Okay.
That
no,
makes it-
Kanye West has a bigger dick backyard than
That's
I
how
do.
I make
bigger
that's how I
dick
measure
backyard.
mine.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, bigger
Yeah.
dick backyard.
That makes it actually more interesting because there would not have been a large animal in your backyard unless your gate was open, but you're in
No.
the middle of town. Like it
And-
doesn't make sense.
And the gate was behind me and around the corner on the other side of the garage. So, and that was closed. So it would have had to have gotten in, circled around the entirety of the house, and then circled back to face me.
You know what I think it was? I think you let it in the house
I probably did.
because you let everything else in the house.
I
So
probably did.
Yeah, come on, get in there.
Steph says, I'm just so relieved I can blame my visual hallucinations and weird feelings on ghosts now.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve S says, 5 yards is only 15 feet. That's relatively close.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all learned Dan's a liar. No, I believe you, Dan.
Dan experiences different shit
it
than
is-
Steve does.
It is just
that's
a
for sure.
weird. Yeah.
It's weird. And, just because, I mean, I've been watching some weird shit lately. Like, if you guys watch Skinwalker Ranch,
Yes.
You told
yeah.
me about it. I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So we've been watching that, and it's a lot of it's about like portals and alternate dimensions and shit, and I'm into ghost stuff
That freaking
anyways.
Morty Roma.
Well, and yeah,
True story.
I'm into ghost stuff anyways, and I've always suspected as much. I mean, it seems to me that if like somebody that's quote unquote dead can come back, it's got to be a different dimensional thing, and they're coming through. Who knows?
Mhm.
And so, anyways, but like. Especially when you're younger, you can be open to that kind of stuff. If who's to say, if the circumstances are just right, that you see something, you could have been standing next to your mother and she didn't see that at all.
Yeah, that's
My mother's blind.
Well, and that's why she wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
She'd have smelled it though.
Yeah. Exactly. She knows which leaves.
I'm gonna do a Stalin for America, but I don't think we have it on here. So I'll be back.
All right. Oh, no, we do.
We do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, it's
Oh, I see it.
number one, Roma.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
You think this stuff smells like a man?
Hello, Dan.
Oh, Steve. This time of year is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It
I
really is.
went to the costume shop today.
Yeah?
There are a lot of good butts at the costume shop.
Good butts, you say?
Good butts.
What do you mean by good butts?
Just, people in pants that have good butts.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. You mean like the societal acceptance of the fact that people walk around in yoga pants, no matter what gender they are.
I was going to say not as many guys, but yeah. 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 And I don't know. It's just kind of refreshing. I think it's because the
Butts
succubus
are
didn't
refreshing?
visit. The succubus didn't visit, so
That's fair.
just a little
Yeah.
little got a little too much going on.
Just
so let's
boom
see.
right in your face.
Um,
I went to Zurcher's recently. I didn't go to the costume shop or any of the Spirit Halloweens that pop up
That's
all
where I
over
went.
the freaking place.
yeah.
But
Well, I find the costume shops, like the spirit ones,
yeah.
are bad to go to at this time. You know, they're
Oh,
good to
yeah.
go to early on, but they don't like restock. They
Oh
don't,
yeah, no, you've got
Yeah.
to hit those in like August, you know, when
Yeah.
they're preparing for Halloween.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
as
yeah.
soon as September hits, guess what? It's time for fucking Christmas.
Yeah,
And that's just the way that society goes nowadays.
yeah,
You've got to prepare at least 3 months in advance for the next big holiday.
yeah. It's true. You know, but now we can watch movies all the time. Like you can watch Christmas movies all year round if you want.
I watched Beetlejuice last night.
I am proud of you.
It's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. I don't think my boyfriend ever seen it.
What?
Yeah, because he was like,
Really?
yeah, he didn't like the ending.
Roma kept using lines from it with him, like, but he just never gave.
He
She's
can-
like, nobody says a B word, and then he's like, what?
He can
Why do you
he
keep
can
saying that?
nice fucking model.
Yeah.
Come on, that's classic.
You know what I never realized before until I watched it last night is that he makes a jerking off motion. It's a big one too.
Mhm.
Like he like turns around, does this, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. And then, and I'm like, wow, that seems like really gratuitous. But then I remembered the line, "nice fucking model," and I'm like, okay, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. That he lives in the little trade like model town or whatever. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, it was a great movie.
That
Keaton was killing it back then.
Oh man, he was all over the
He's
place.
one of my favorites.
yeah.
He's
He was the best
fantastic.
Batman.
Still even
Yeah.
to this day. And you know, I am excited because there is the new movie that's going to eventually come out called The Flash, and he is reprising the role as Bruce Wayne in Batman.
Nice. He hasn't aged much. I mean, I
No,
don't
he
know
looks
if he's,
great.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
sure
know
he's
if
had work
still,
done.
Yeah, oh sure, yeah.
And
But I don't know if he can still move, like if
to-
he can still do shit, or if he just looks like
to
he's
this
fine.
day, I still say he is one of the best villains that has ever graced the silver screen. as
Which
far
villain was
as-
that?
Publicity.
He played the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Mhm.
and it was amazing because Spider-Man's new girlfriend at the time and he were talking, and she's like talking to him about this party. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I totally just like ran out and you know, I was hiding with everybody else." And she's like, "No, but you like disappeared right when this happened, and you could just see it. Like they focused on Michael Keaton's face as a villain, and he's just like figuring out the fact that for once, someone figured out just from Peter Parker talking some shit
Mhm.
that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And it was just amazing to just watch his face go from, oh yeah, you know, there's a party, and then just, you little shit, you're fucking Spider-Man.
So let's see here. So Steph says, my friend just wrote a book on creepy ghost stories, and her and a friend researched. They're giving a talk tomorrow at Barnes & Noble in Portland.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
road trip.
If you really want to, we already saw what Portland's like these days, Steve.
Well,
Spooky.
it is spooky.
And
So,
you
speaking
know,
of
a little
spooky,
messy.
I've got some ghost videos here I think we should all see.
All right.
Please do.
So I compiled some stuff here. So this one is entitled, let's see, security camera films full-bodied apparition manifesting inside Missouri store, ?
Go ahead and share, Robo.
There were lots of dead
will.
people in Missouri.
Yeah.
So here we go. I don't know if there's sound or not, so I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, we have footage of this full-bodied apparition to take a look at. So, guys, we'll have a look at this footage, and then we'll have a real quick chat afterwards.
No thanks. We'll chat on our own.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's pretty weird. Is that like what you saw?
It was very much. It was very much like a
So, guys,
like
here's what I know
movement
about
from
this.
the.
This was captured
Just
on
muted on there.
for the 16th,
Um,
2000.
So I mean, it was very similar to the yeah. So it was very similar to it, at least as far as like I think like coloration and I mean, there's a light on in the room, so it looks,
Was yours faster?
yeah, oh, way faster. Yeah, mine whooshed.
His
you know?
whooshed.
Yeah. And what it looked like to me, because you know, it came from where I thought Ollie was, and I was right that Ollie was there, but it whooshed past me, and then Ollie came. So it was almost like Ollie. And what I told
Did Ollie
Mal,
seem like that they hadn't
no,
noticed it?
no.
Okay.
So that was the thing is I said Ollie didn't act like if he would have acted fucked up, I would have been like, all right, I'm like
Yeah, 100%.
uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have known if Ollie's
But
hackles
why?
were up.
It's so crazy that you would have that experience, being like, "What the fuck was that?" And then she's like, "Did you see a ghost? Because
Yeah.
I just saw something."
Her saying that was I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I probably would not have said anything. But I was
if
like,
she hadn't, so if you were
you
on
know.
your own
Mhm.
and she had, nobody was there, nobody had said anything, what
Mhm.
would you think? You would just dismiss it?
I would dismiss it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And that's it. Is it feels weird to, you know, I mean, like, yeah, I didn't see that. Like, obviously, I don't know if somebody fucked.
Does it feel weird to actually admit that
yes.
something like that had
Mhm.
happened to you, because you kind of feel like you're a little like, no, I'm just fucking crazy, or I was tired, or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, is purely circumstantial, you
Mhm.
know, it's no big deal. It's fucking no, like shit happens,
Mhm.
man.
All
like
right.
for real, it does.
And that's it. Is I think my discomfort is with being that guy
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh, seen ghosts, you know, like.
Well, I can agree with you as far as that kind of sentiment, where it's like, yeah, no, I've seen a ghost, and but at the same time, it's like, no, I've like,
If somebody,
I don't care what you say, I've fucking seen ghosts and crazy shit, man.
if somebody like put you like, you know, really like was like, for lack of a better term, put you in a corner,
Mhm.
would you say that you thought you saw a ghost?
I mean, it would be the only thing that would really explain it. Like, I wouldn't think it was. There's no natural explanation for it. I mean, you know, so I would really just say, I feel like if someone gave me a lie detector test, it would come up as
Detectable, undeterminable.
indeterminate or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So because I just don't know.
Yeah.
But it is something that I'm like, nothing happens like this in my life. Generally, I absolutely was of sound mind and just
And you had a witness.
and that was it really too. Is
Can I get a witness?
Mhm.
Oh, you
Yeah.
had one.
If I had, so I'm the same person, you know, if I don't have a witness, I'm just like, meh. And I will explain anything away. It's so funny. I'm such a hardcore believer, and I'm the hardest skeptic too. You know,
Mm.
like even when I went ghost hunting with that group, they were like, oh, you know, we had this and that. And I'm like, really? Like, did you really? You know, because like I'm that person, because I don't want to.
You don't want to be
placate.
fooled.
I don't want to placate. Like, I want real,
Mm-hmm.
solid fucking proof. Like,
Mhm.
it's gotta be. I know it exists.
Mhm.
But I fucking want it, and I don't want to be like, well, you know, because they were showing me some stuff. They were showing us previews of things that they had the same place they investigated before, and they're like, we had this, and I'm like,
Romerica, you don't want a teeter-totter, do you?
I want solid proof.
Mm.
And if it's called into question, and granted, you know, they made the good point. They're like, so we get this evidence. They've been sitting there for hours watching this same camera view.
Hmm.
And this has not happened not once. And then all of a sudden this happens. It's fucking weird. I'm like, okay, I can appreciate that for sure.
Mhm.
Because you get a feel for your environment, right? If you've been sitting there, so if you've been watching the same video for 3 fucking hours and then
Mhm.
something anomalous happens, you're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's not what has been happening this entire time. I
Mhm.
can appreciate that. But in general, I'm just like, was that a car light? Did somebody walk by the IR camera? Like, what, you know, like.
How can we explain this?
Mhm.
So, but I've got a couple other videos here. So
Mhm.
here's this one here, and this one's entitled, let's see, eerie apparition of a woman manifests over a driveway in Mississippi.
Hmm. So we went from Missouri to Mississippi.
Still in the South.
Yo, guys, check out
So
this
hold on, I'm
creepy
gonna-
CCTV capture.
I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
it. Just so we
Yeah.
don't-
Yeah. It's kind of weird that Coast to Coast would put.
So they end up
Okay.
they end up streaming a bunch of
Ooh.
people. So to me it looks like it could be mist like from snow,
Yeah.
but it's Mississippi.
Well, and you see the kind of the fog like roll, like that's kind of cool.
You know what else is interesting to me? It looks like it has breasts.
Huh.
So watch when it comes scrolling across the screen. Like it looks like it has breasts. It looks like it's a woman. Like
Oh, now we're going all slow motion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you.
no, wait, hold on.
At some
It's gonna
point, Dan's
Yeah.
gonna
rip
have
there.
breasts.
It's very.
Yeah, I don't think so. What I feel like it is I feel like it's almost like maybe it's a Confederate Army or something, because you like all that extra shit that goes with it. It almost looks like that's gonna turn into a shape, Like, so it looks like multiple things moving,
But
at the
it's
same
I mean,
time.
it could be.
it's only captured in the light of the street light.
Also, that
That's
car
true,
is
yeah.
pretty cute. I would drive it. I feel like the nose is too short.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super particular about cars.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like it almost gets into the IR, like the
Mhm.
Oh,
IR.
it totally
Mhm.
does.
Yeah,
It
Yep.
totally does.
because when you see it move out of the IR, so when it gets to like
Boom, right there. Yeah.
right past this, you can
Why
see
didn't
that
they
it
have an arrow for
darkens.
tits? Because there's clearly tits there.
I think that's just a
Yeah.
little bit of a little bit of
To me, it feels.
overzealous.
To me, I think it
Fog.
sits. Like I really feel like
Yeah.
because it lurches forward and it looks like it has boobs. I mean,
Yeah.
do ghosts have boobs? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ghost
ghosts
tits.
have boobs.
yeah. Roma, I wouldn't know. Okay.
All of the
See that? It looks
Mhm.
like boobs to me.
there's a gender out there that does have boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Even in 2022, there are some genders that have boobs.
I mean, I
Yeah.
have boobs. They're
These are
not
both
great,
good.
but yeah.
These
so,
are both good. I like these.
No, there's
Um,
definitely a difference between the head, the legs, the chest, the arm, like the back of it. There's definitely a definition there.
Mhm.
Like that doesn't just look like a cloud of somebody just like puffing away smoke or anything,
And who would
it
let a
looks
woman
like
out
a
by
person-
herself?
let alone
Yeah.
in the dark
Yeah. What is this, Saudi Arabia?
in Mississippi.
Yeah.
all right.
You escort ladies then.
So I've got a couple of what I would say are like violent
Okay.
situations here. One involves a dog. One involves a toddler. Or
Are either sexually violent?
no.
Okay,
no,
that's
no,
good.
no. Like we're talking so dog being pushed and a baby being pushed.
Okay.
Two different
Okay.
things. So let's
Okay.
Look,
let's see
we've
what-
all been there. Okay.
let's see what we think.
We've all pushed a baby. We've
Yeah.
all pushed a dog.
You got a wisecracking baby on your hands.
You just got to let it smarten up.
So caught on camera, ghost moves dog across the floor in virtual video.
Viral.
So I'm gonna mute it.
Okay. So the dog is barking at the floor, like
He's barking.
directly. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, so is the dog Michael Jackson related?
Yeah.
So one woman took to Reddit to share a spooky incident. She even posted a video of her dog to support her story.
Huh.
Let's-
it-
the clip shows how a dog slides across the floor without interference of a visible person or animal.
Yeah. And like
So-
slides across the floor like shoved, like the whole dog.
That was
It-
the
because
whole
it's-
video.
can you-
That was dumb.
I was
No,
gonna say.
it wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't. Hold on. It got paused.
Yeah.
The beginning dog can be seen barking towards something on the floor. Suddenly, the dog slides almost half a
Yeah,
meter without the presence of any evidence force that could have been moved him.
Yeah, no, that's
Owner of the dog then went to say that their family had experienced multiple unexplainable events in that house.
Hmm.
We
Interesting.
definitely had something else living there with us. It was a lady about the same height as me and a middle daughter, and she had the same dark hair as well. My husband, I don't know what to talk about.
Mhm.
With numerous experiences, the couple moved out of the house, and the woman confirmed that their life has been normal since.
Yeah, so the wife was saying that
So
there
let's-
was a woman at that house.
Yeah, let's
that
watch
lived
this
there.
again. Yeah, hold
Yeah.
on.
And actually unmute it because I want to
Okay.
hear if he I want to hear what sound he makes
Okay,
when it
hold on.
happens.
Yeah, dude, he fucking
Yeah.
slid.
Yeah. Back it up again.
Hold on, I am going to.
Yeah. So the dog.
That is
Clearly-
not normal.
Wow.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Clearly
All
that
four
dog is
of his
upset.
feet are on the floor. All four of them, dude.
Yeah. And it's a hardwood floor. So
No,
no,
that's
no, it's
carpet,
carpeted.
dude.
It's
Oh, is it?
carpet. Yeah.
You can hear it.
Watch. His feet do not move the floor. That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. You can turn the
Give me
music.
that scoop.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Dude,
no.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think I mean that's definitely not normal. And just the fact that the dog is barking like cuz when you see a dog that's just like barking at nothing,
Yeah.
they're just like rah, 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 like they just like they're looking up,
They're
they're doing
playing.
whatever.
They're
But
playing.
he
Yeah.
was
He's
clearly
looking-
barking at the floor.
Yeah, like between his feet, his front paws, he's like looking that down.
Now I
and
must say
barking.
that his tail is wagging, so
Yeah.
it was like he's in a playful mood,
Yeah.
but it was just like really
Yeah, but something
none of his feet leave the floor. That's crazy,
Mhm.
and he slid. It was that was crazy.
Yeah.
but his tail stopped wagging as soon as he was moving. I think that in situations like that, the dog isn't completely sure as to whether or not it's okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It just kind of
And you know what?
It
Like-
will move, but it's in that situation of like, is this okay? Should,
Well,
should I be
And a lot
happy?
of
Should I
dogs
be
will
upset?
be. So like my dog will be playful, like you're fucking with him, you're tossing him around, you're being like, and he's just like, oh, we're playing, right? I mean, you could get violent with him, but of course, I mean, he trusts us, but in general, I mean, like a dog, you have to think about dogs with other dogs.
They fucking know.
Well, they do and they don't. Like you think like, oh, we're playing, and they're not. You just so.
Well, and I think the dog wasn't scared. The dog wasn't
No,
scared.
No.
it
Whatever
was
it was,
clearly very much not scared.
but it was confused. So
Maybe
when it got
maybe it was
pushed,
Grandpa. Maybe it was who knows.
when it got pushed, it went like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, and then
It was
it kind of
interesting.
went back to what it was doing, where it's like, kind of shaking its tail and playing with whatever it is. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right, so far I like all these. The second one, meh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
with the
let's see.
boobs. You don't like the boobs one?
Not really. I don't like how much went over the car. Yeah, like I feel like that might have been. I feel like that one could have been faked.
I mean,
like,
it could have been for
easily,
sure.
you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
Yeah.
With clouds people make from fucking vaping and
Yeah.
smoking
Okay.
and shit.
True.
Yeah.
So we're into pushing things, right? So I've got one here. It says mom believes footage captures a ghost pushing over the baby.
Okay.
All right.
So here's this. Apparently, sorry, I'd read the story and it was I guess mom was grocery shopping or something like that. Somebody was watching the baby. They had cameras in the house.
Mhm.
And you could see that the guy's sitting there, the baby's like in the hallway crawling, just doing baby shit, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden it looks like it gets pushed. And so we'll watch it. We can comment on it.
Okay.
So hold on 1 second here.
Yeah.
Ik خوفزده ما كخيال هيك اسكاج هر
Oh, they speak a foreign language. It
That's
doesn't
okay. It doesn't matter because you can still see it. So
matter.
okay, it's gonna do it several times. So there's dude. He's watching the baby. Baby's in the hallway.
Oh.
Boom.
Hmm.
Push forward and turns around to look at what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part. So
Oof.
like the baby is like planted
Yeah.
and then turns around and is like, WTF? What hit me?
Well, and I think that babies are more inclined to see what we don't.
Of course, because they don't have that. Let's see. Let's do it one more time. So baby in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, that
Yeah.
baby was totally
That baby
pushed.
was pushed.
Yeah.
And then
Somebody
turns
tried to kick
around.
that baby.
And then turns around and is like, WTF, like what happened,
Okay, I've got a.
It's almost like he gets hit a second time when he turns around. Watch his head when he turns around.
Okay. He's struggling.
recovery.
Right there.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a jerk. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just like baby motor skills,
Yeah.
which it could be. I don't know. I haven't been a baby in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know enough about a baby that, like, if a baby falls, does it look around or does it?
Does
Well,
it make
he
a sound?
did. He did.
No,
So
I know that. I'm
clearly-
saying, does a normal baby, when they fall, do they go, whoa, whoa, you know, like,
Right,
what
right.
happened?
Oh, yeah,
Or do
yeah.
they know
Yes.
that they
like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's
I
really
don't know.
interesting because clearly he's pretty planted and like, and then gets shoved forward
Yeah.
and then it's like, what motherfucker hit me, you know?
Which one of y'all hit me? Well, and what you see is between the baby's legs, you can see that it's like its butt's kind of on the ground, and then you see light come through when the butt gets lifted, and that's almost, you know, I don't know if that
Yeah,
was,
let's see that. Let's see that again. So
Yeah.
yeah. So his butt is low to the ground because there's not. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
And
it's
so
it's a
I don't
jerk
know.
forward.
Somebody just
Yeah.
kicked that baby.
It was either they pushed the upper part of the baby and
like
and it
between
like
the shoulder blades.
yeah, and its arms were extended, so it you know, kicked it up, or it, you know, grabbed the baby butt and flipped
lifted it
forward.
or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I was watching that and I just thought it was really,
Yeah, that's interesting.
it's bizarre.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, it's not as good as a full body apparition, but, you know.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of light in that
I
place,
mean,
Steve.
There's a baby, there's a guy in a wicker chair. He's got everything.
So we're at the end of the show.
Oh, really?
Oh man.
Well, Buffalo Dan.
Yes.
Mhm. Um,
Yes, Hannibal Steve.
would you like to tell people about where they can support our show?
Well,
in
if
the
you're
future?
ever creeped out and you need to feel some security,
Mhm.
by all means you can find security at thesensibleSociopathPodcast.com. If your feet are cold because you've got a ghost around, put on some Sense socks. If you need a small layer, by all means, go ahead and grab yourself an Alpha Beta t-shirt. We've got V-neck, A-neck, O-neck. We've got all the necks.
Yeah, but what
Um,
about the hoodies?
And,
Yeah.
and if you need an extra layer because you're feeling extra tilled because there's an apparition around, by all means, grab yourself a Sensible Sociopath Podcast hoodie. You get the signia on the front and the back. He even had the courtesy to lift up the hood in the back so that you could see all of it. And it will keep you warm. And if you need something, you can put tea or coffee in it if you're one of those crazy people who likes coffee like I do. And you can get yourself a Sensible Sociopath Podcast mug with the Charlie Cat on it. And you got all different kinds of colors to choose from.
It's a great mug, actually.
You can actually trap ghosts in it.
Yeah. And
These are enchanted.
Like
I didn't know.
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I know Kat ordered one like 4 months ago. Someday it will eventually reach
Mm.
Canada.
True.
And yeah, find yourself at thesensibleSociopathPodcast.com to get all of our merch. Steve?
Yes, and we are available on every major podcasting platform. If you would go there and join us, download, all that fun stuff. We also are on Instagram at the Sensible Sociopath Podcast. And then I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Stephen Paul Cast, and that's Stephen with a PH. Halloween is a special time of year. Wait, that's a different voice. That's not his. You know what you look like to me? No, it's been really great. I'm glad we got to be the characters of.
It was fun. It
Yes.
was super
It
fun.
was a lot of fun.
I think didn't you come up with this, Roma?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
We
good.
had
Good call.
a mesh sesh, and then this is
Mhm.
what we came up with. So
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, you have art all over
Yeah.
of Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah.
and
Let me show.
you're gonna do it.
Oh, we're starting with one.
Yeah. Just.
There's that
Oh,
there.
dude, the thing is beautiful.
Show your. Yeah, he appreciates the braininess of Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite. Literary and
Wait, show it more in the camera. Like you fucking nailed it.
Down a little bit. Perfect. Oh, dude, it's just yes.
Uncanny.
Yes.
That's me.
Some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I'm really happy that we got to do this. Happy Halloween to everyone. Please be safe out there.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, check your candy.
For razor blades. And...
Also, check your privilege.
And your prostate.
Yep. And
Be
check
aware.
your prostate.
Yeah, so many things to check.
Yep. Check your...
I need a list. We should have a sensible sociopath list of things to check.
Yes. Pre-flight checklist, basically.
Yeah.
Corners, prostate, candy, all of it.
Next week, we'll be telling Dan's story about his nearest touch of death, or his most recent
Yeah, we'll get
touch
there.
of death.
We'll get there.
Next week. Join us next week. We want to thank everybody. Dan, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you, Steve. You look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so does, of course, Romerica.
Roma killed it today, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I think you brought home the bacon on this one. You really
We
did.
did really good. I'm not disappointing anybody.
Yeah. If I could drop a few LBs, I think I would have pulled off the Lecter a little better.
You did awesome.
But yeah, being a chubby-cheeked Lecter is fine.
It's in our family.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Best podcast in the world.
The world would not be the same.
I like it.
No wonder my anxiety's so high.
Few people laughed. Few people cried.
Oh, what's in the box?
Most people were silent.
And that was it.
Now I am become death,
Sounds like a bad time.
the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem like a great idea to me.
I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
You didn't tell me any of that. That's crazy.
Well, Rama, when you're a hero, you don't tell everyone until you're on your podcast.
I'm about to hear some shit.
We all need to laugh.
I think just sitting down and, listening to...
The Sensible Sociopath. This is the shit you're supposed to be watching.
Gen X is gonna love it. Millennials are gonna be like, I'm offended.
You have offended me.
Also, my dog has a giant dick.
Oh my god, that's enormous.
I love it.
It's still a racist dog whistle.
Where you kind of have like a rotating cast of characters.
We're talking baby seals, eagles, wolves.
I'm just glad we're not going to have to eat with racism anymore.
It's worse than the butthole.
We're technically considered propaganda.
It is very contagious.
I think we really need to talk about environmentalism.
Like, are they studying pine cones?
Make yourself a nice stingray omelet. That's how Steve Irwin died. Cholesterol.
It's fucking delicious.
His father had ended up killing his mother and committing suicide.
In that order?
That's diabolical. I like it.
They had an apple gun where you could shoot Bigfoot.
Has she always been retarded?
I mean, she could have had a head injury.
You don't know anything about tartar sauce.
He had picked up a 400-pound statue and was like walking around with it.
Was the statue racist?
I'd like to think so.
It's like how they invented bacon and avocado to make a turkey sandwich tolerable.
I have a fear of fire.
Like a werewolf? Daniel, you've been our greatest viewer. Well, Daniel and Sarah and Katrina.
Daniel!